Welcome back to Property Play. We have Lisa Andrews here again. Clearly, I didn't know from the chats we've had in the past how similar we are, but maybe we start off with, I wish I would have bought it and if I knew. Is there any properties that you're like, I wish I got?
No, I bought them all.
Clearly, no one was holding you back from these decisions. You were like, no, no, if I liked it, it was in my cart. Like, put in the cart.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with my real estate purchases that's the most comical is I was never shopping. I was never shopping. All of the purchases that I've made have been impulsive. So, no, I can't think of anything where I regret not buying anything.
Did you know how you were going to close it when you bought it? I
That's a
have
good
to
question.
ask, like,
No, and it's really funny consulting with agents because I'll have agents come to me and their question is, should my client buy first or sell first? And then I go down this deep dive with them about months of inventory. We go on Habistat, we tinker around because I want them to give their clients sound advice. I never gave myself sound advice. So I always bought impulsively. And then I was like, okay, I have to sell what I currently own in order to close on the next place or I'm snookered. And I think I was just young, naive, and cocky. Like, I just bought and then sold and then bought and then sold.
I
So
think
yeah,
maybe a little bit of lucky too.
a
Like,
lot of luck, a
yeah.
lot of luck. And I think luck with the market. I remember when the recession hit sort of 2008, 2009, and it was a real rude awakening as to how young and naive I was because I was telling clients, like, the market's just going to keep going up 6 or 8% per year forever. Like, everything is wonderful and magical. And I had 3 clients who bought before selling, and then the recession hit, and when the recession hit, it wasn't that you could reduce the price of your home or condo and have it sell. Nothing was moving. Just the market kind of paused for about 8 months, and I was just mortified. And thankfully, I had told my clients, like, if you're going to buy before selling, you need to have some sort of plan in place and talk to your mortgage broker to make sure you can close on what you've bought without selling your existing home. So thankfully, those clients had enough equity, were able to refi, pull that equity out, close on what they've bought, what they had bought. And I was able to sell all 3 homes 12 months later for more than we were asking during the recession. But it was a very big rude awakening for me to be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, the market can change, and we have to plan for negative situations."
So, how do you find this market that we're currently in?
The market is marketing. It's been really funny. I shouldn't say funny. It's been fascinating to observe just the psychology of different agents because I think that unfortunately some agents are in the fetal position, kind of waiting for it to be over. And others are like, people have to buy, people have to sell, people have to rent, people have to move. Like, there's business to be had if you network and work hard and go look for it. I don't think this is a terrible market, but I'm glad I'm not trying to sell any of my condos right now because I know that the condo market is a tough market right now. But I think that it's a great time to move up because you're getting a better deal on a larger home and taking less of a hit on the smaller condo that you're selling. So it really depends on what situation and what stage of life a person is in.
Definitely. Like, I've had conversations with clients recently that they're like, we want to move up, but we know we're going to lose on our place. And I'm
Yep.
like, you're right. You are at this stage for what you purchased it to what you're selling for. Like, you didn't hold it long enough
Yep.
for you to turn a profit. And they'd be like, I don't care to lose because on the one that I'm buying it for 150,000 less,
Exactly.
200,000 less than what I would have paid when I bought mine.
Exactly.
So like
It's all
I'm going to
relative.
lose what, 20, 30,000, but I'm also going to gain X amount.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it very logically of like, how do I trade up
Take
and save the
advantage.
most amount of money? Yeah.
100%.
Um, if you were, what do you think was making up the majority of buyers right now?
I think that first time buyer
Yeah.
activity is pretty high. And I think that anyone who has cash in the bank or it has the opportunity to make their purchase for the first time, there are an incredible amount of opportunities in downtown Toronto for condos. For investors too, anyone with cash in the bank, if you've got kids that are going to eventually go to university, buy them each a tiny little condo, have a tenant pay it down, And, if you're putting 20% down, it may not cash flow, but if you're putting 25, 30% down, it should cash flow and you can just set it and forget it and watch the market start to go up. Because I really think that if we're not at the bottom, we've got to be very close to the bottom, and it's a really good time to buy.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that. And I'm seeing movement back in the market. Like
For
we
sure.
saw it in the last week or so. The market has picked up in terms of transactions, just that our own team is doing.
Yep.
So I'm starting to think it's coming back.
I think it is. I have sort of interesting insights being on the management team to what's happening behind the scenes, and we've had to hire additional staff. So we can see that the deal transaction numbers are going up, and I think that that's a really good sign of what's to come. I don't know that it's going to be guns blazing, bidding wars on every property by next month. I think that it's going to be a slow crawl upwards. But I think now is the time to buy. And I think if people don't buy within the next few months, they will look back and regret it.
And I think the part that we should make very clear, because everyone's going to be like, oh my God, they're real estate agents. They're trying to sell me something. We're talking numbers that we're seeing from the back end.
Yeah.
That doesn't get published yet.
No.
So like when we're saying this is what's happening, what we're seeing currently actively in the market, we're going to know about it, or the public's going to know about it in a month to 2 months from now.
For sure.
And like I've said this since the beginning, when BlogTO, when Toronto Life, when Toronto Star is reporting that the market is back, it's already too late.
For sure.
It was already back. They wait for our numbers to get reported for them to be able to publish these massive news publications. We see it. We're on the ground.
And negative news is always around when it comes to real estate. I remember working with a pre-con team, and they were selling so much real estate and worked with a lot of investors. And there was one investor who every week sent the team a negative news article that the Toronto real estate bubble was going to burst and it was all doom and gloom. And he was just so regretful about his purchase. And one of the guys who owned the team ended up sending this guy newspaper articles from 5 years prior, from 10 years prior, from 15 years prior. He literally Googled, like, find me old negative newspaper articles about the Toronto real estate market, and just had to level with the guy to be like, the news will always say this, but here's the reality. Like, properties historically have been going up 6% per year for the past 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So you can spend the next 4 years panicking about your pre-construction purchase and the market being a bubble, or you can have faith that over the long term, you're going to do well with this investment. And as much as the market does have hiccups and does drop, if you're holding your property long term, none of it matters.
Yeah. You have to remember,
Toronto.
people need to live somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's still people coming in, and there's like people need to live somewhere.
Yeah.
There's people that are graduating from university that eventually are going to need to move into properties. People are going to get their like
100%.
big girl, big boy jobs. And then all of a sudden they're going to have money and they're going to want to get into real estate or not live in their parents' basement. People still need to move. And lifestyle moves are very much a thing. I don't think ever there's going to be a time where no one needs a house. Like,
For sure.
people need housing. People need a shelter.
I've also noticed lately, and this might sound like a really silly insight, but I walk from our office to Union Station every day. I take the GO train in, and the walk to Union Station along Front Street, now when I hit the convention center, and this is just since September, like since sort of back to school, the streets are full. And I feel a certain sense of Toronto being back, where Toronto kind of died from the pandemic and we're back. And I can feel taking the GO train in when there are no seats, there are more people downtown. And I know that Rogers, all of the big banks, the provincial government, a lot of companies are forcing employees back to offices. And I'm excited for it because I think it means that more people will be supporting Toronto businesses, restaurants, and that can only be a positive for the future of real estate.
That's actually really interesting that you've mentioned this, because I actually had 2 transactions this past week.
Yep.
And both of them where our home base is not Toronto anymore. The pandemic happened. We moved further out.
Yep.
One was a couple in Niagara. The other one was a couple in Waterloo. And both of them have spouses that are with Toronto-based companies.
Yeah,
And they've pulled them back to being in office
for sure.
for 3 days to 4 days a week on average. So they're like, we need a place in the city. It doesn't have to be the biggest place in the world, but we need a crash pad
For sure.
that we drive into the city. We're there for the next 3-4 days, and then we go back home.
Yeah.
And they-
term.
And they both bought in the city now.
Awesome.
And like it wasn't like we need to buy. They have a home. We didn't add any inventory that they were like, we need to sell our place to buy this. No, they just added.
Yeah.
So I think that that is coming back quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, let's pivot from that, from the relocation, and talk a little bit about what are you seeing on the sales side? Are you seeing more of investor inventory coming up, or are you seeing more end users? Like, who's selling their product right now, and is it stupid to be selling right now?
I don't know the answer to that question. What are you
Give me your
right now,
give me
Elena?
a prediction. You see the back end. I only see what I can
Back end,
see.
but my insights are not really who's selling, why they're selling. It's speaking with agents and knowing whether or not they're having bidding wars, knowing what their buyer's motivation is. But to know why sellers are selling, I don't really have those insights.
So I like how you flipped it back to me. I'm seeing lifestyle.
Yeah.
So reason for making a move, something has shifted, either divorce, either marriage, either, we have kids now. I see lifestyle moves all the time. Estate sales still happening, very few, but still power of sales still happening. So there are people listing inventory. The problem that I found is until about a week and a half ago, I don't want to say there was no good inventory, but it wasn't what my people were looking for.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're getting the same feedback from other people working with buyers, but I would literally just be like, please, one good thing to hit the market today, one good thing to hit the market today.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what class we were looking at, whether it's condo, freehold, semi, condo town, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It was just, we were craving good inventory.
I have heard that from other agents where there are a lot of homes and a lot of condos on the market right now, and they're not nice. Like, they're waiting for nice homes to come on the market. And I also think that a lot of the time people don't have borrowing power to do renovations. So everyone is looking for those nice homes, and they're happy to max out their mortgage qualification and spend the limit of their budget. But if they find a place that needs $80,000 worth of work, they just can't get a line of credit to borrow that $80,000 to do the work. So then the nice houses are selling.
Yeah. We're selling one of ours right now.
Yeah.
It's not on the market.
From our
property portfolio. We are selling one of ours right now.
Are you heartbroken or are you okay?
I'm okay because this was one that Dan did. I helped him buy.
Poor Dan.
No. This was we bought it at a good time. It made sense for us then. Right now, it's not one we'll return to. It does, it eats up quite a bit of money. It's just not worth it for us.
For sure.
But someone is going to love it. But what we did to it to get it to sell, we're probably dumping about $40,000 in.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I'm it will come back. There's
Sure.
a bunch of units, and it's a condo. There's a bunch of units in that building right now that are available in the market.
Yep.
And based on what we purchased it at, we're still going to come out in the clear by investing this money in. But we've painted it. We've added wainscoting. There's a whole new kitchen going in there.
But you know how important it is. I've seen you do it for your clients.
Yeah.
You know the importance of renovations and staging in order to make sure people get top dollar.
I have never been the agent to cut corners.
No.
Even in the hottest market, we still did everything humanly possible to make sure we didn't leave a dollar on the table.
Yeah.
Now it's more important.
For sure.
And I've heard agents, and I'm sure you heard it too, being like, I don't want to stage the property because it's going to sit forever. And then God forbid, the staging costs, the work, the renovation. I have done it all.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to not stage the property. And the conversations I have with sellers is, I don't want to enable you from selling. You need to stage. And that's why it's included in our fee.
Yeah.
Let me do this. It's going to make a big difference. You have to let me. And that's the conversations we've been having at listing appointments. And more often than not, the conversation doesn't happen as often anymore on price. Have you noticed that if agents talk to you about list price, we're not getting as much pushback anymore?
Yeah.
So I think sellers have started to understand they're not getting the same numbers.
Yeah, they've wrapped their heads around the market finally, and they're not overpricing their homes. They're like, okay, we're finally in touch with reality. We will take your advice. We need our place to sell.
Which is why I think things are moving a little bit easier this past week and a half.
Yeah.
Again, you'll hear about it later because it will come out in the next stats.
Yeah.
I do think that people that are taking the time to position their property properly are going to reap the benefits.
For sure.
Like I've had people call me and be like, you need to put it up today because God forbid it's going to turn winter. I'm like, you're right. But if we don't position it right today, it's going to turn winter regardless and we won't be sold.
Yeah, you
Like
got to take the time to properly prepare it.
Exactly. You need to let us prep the property so we can sell it,
Yeah.
as opposed to it half being prepared and then us running into an issue. And the last thing I want to hear from a seller is there was something that you could have done that you didn't do.
Yeah.
I'd rather be like, we did it all.
Yep.
And the market is talking, rather than maybe now we can try staging after we've been on the market for 6 months. Maybe now we should change out light fixtures now that we've been on the market. Maybe now. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that we did everything humanly possible to get you that number. And either it was possible or it wasn't.
Yeah.
And we have to pivot.
100%.
But the reason why the reason my product doesn't sell is price. That's the governing body. Even if it's the worst house in the world, it will sell based on price. In this market, though, cost of borrowing money is heavy. Cost of, like, you have the cash, you're putting it in, it's 100% cash. It's not mortgaged. So for someone to take on a renovation in this market, that is a harder sell.
For sure.
So that's why we stage. That's why we do micro improvements, so people can feel like they can actually come in and live here right now and not think, it's going to cost me $80,000. It's going to cost me $100,000. Like, this is a full gut job. How am I going to do it in this market?
Yeah.
They need to be somewhat livable, and they'll figure out how to do major improvements in the future. But livability right now matters.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah. Any other questions? Because you stopped letting me ask you questions. You flipped it on me.
Well, I didn't know the answer, but I knew you would. What's it like managing a team of all women? Plus Jacob, we love you, Jacob.
Honestly, everyone seems to think that it would be catty, but it's not. And I think it's because I handpick everyone that's on the team.
Yeah.
Like, they actually go through quite a bit of interviewing. I don't know if any of them told you about the crazy things that I've asked people to do.
Nope.
I had one girl drive with me to London, Ontario and back because I figured during that
car.
No, but I figured if I don't like you after this car ride, then really,
Yeah.
we wouldn't
not
be
gonna
able.
work.
Exactly. I've had people interact with some of my clients.
Yep.
So I could get feedback from my clients on how they actually interacted. I've had them sit on open houses with one of my agents so we can see how they talk to people. They have multiple rounds of interviews. Like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And it's a mutual selection.
Yeah.
Like, we have to like you, you have to like me, but you also have to get along with the team. So, like, it's multiple rounds of, like, you're meeting people on the team, you're meeting myself. We're also testing you through this all. So, like, barrier to entry is quite high in the grand scheme of it. But I think that's why.
And collaborative.
Yes. And I think that's also why we all get along.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very good dynamic and everyone knows to help each other and work with each other.
The vibe in your office is good. When I was with the Wright sisters, it was very similar. Like, it was all female. Everyone got along. Everyone was supportive. There was no cattiness. But yeah, I think it's what you've built. Like, you've established that culture and you pour into your team.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, we all have our own personalities. Like,
Sure.
it's quite an entertaining
Yeah.
environment when you get us all together. But at the end of the day, the stuff that grounds us all together, work habit, personality, personality traits, like, we're all very much like, we would give our shirt off our back to help someone else.
Yep.
And we all want to help each other.
Yeah.
Like,
you all have genuine care for one another. And I think that's why
Yeah.
it works.
hard work, genuine care, and, like, that's how the team actually functions.
Yeah.
And, like,
And a lot of cake and flowers.
a lot of cake and flowers. We had like 4 cakes here yesterday. We did.
Surprise.
No, but I believe in fostering a good environment. Like,
sure.
at the end of the day,
Facilitate.
like, I work for them. Like, the team dynamic should always be like, I'm here to make everyone else's job easier too. And
Yeah.
in turn, it should also make my job easier. But I work for them.
Yeah.
Like,
you're there
what
to
do you
serve.
guys need to be successful in this? And I think because we lead with that, that's how everyone does well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But whether you're working with me or any member of my team, I think you'll get the same level of experience, or I hope that you get the same level of experience.
Yeah. That's what I've witnessed from them. It's good.
And lots of cake in the office and flowers. Once again, this is Property Play. If you like content like this, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.